Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's me again. It's Russell Mills, September 24th on a Thursday, 2020. Let's say hello. I hope everybody's blessed. They keep talking about this Breonna Taylor situation when she got killed. I was just actually looking on the Wikipedia. This is a shooting of Breonna Taylor. It says Breonna Taylor, she was a 26-year-old woman who fatally got shot in Louisville Metro Police Department. Officers John Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove on March 13th, 2020. Officers entered her apartment in Louisville, Kentucky, executing a search warrant. The officers knocked before forcing entry, but how the officers announced their identity before forcing entry is in dispute. This is Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, fired a gun at the officers he believed to be intruders, who shot over 20 shots in turn. Taylor was shot 5 times, according to her death certificate, and Madley was injured by gunfire. Mrs. Hankerson was fired by the LMPD on June 23, 2020. On September 15th, the city of Louisville agreed to pay Taylor's family $12 million and reform police practices. On September 23rd, a state grand jury indicted Hankerson not for Taylor's death, but on three counts and reform police practices. This is on September 23rd. A state grand jury indicted Hankerson for not Taylor's death on 3 counts of and reform police practices, like I said. Wow. But it says, but on the 3 counts and reform police practices, okay. It says the 2 officers involved in the raid were not indicted. Taylor's death and the non-indictment of the police officer, for it led to protests. Hello, sir. Mr. DC, what's going on? You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I don't know why they killed her. You know what I'm saying? It's Taylor's death and the non-indictment of the police officers led to protests across the United States. What's going on, DC? This is Breonna Taylor. She worked for the University of Louisville Health as a full-time ER technician and was a former emergency medical technician. Since her funeral was held on March 21st, 2020. This is Kenneth Walker, was Taylor's boyfriend, who lived in the apartment. So Jonathan Madeline is the LMPD police officer who joined the department in 2000, became a sergeant in 2019, joined the narcotics division in 2016. This is Brett Hankinson, was an LMPD detective. Hankinson joined the department in 2003. This is Miles Cosgrove, is an LMPD police officer who was transferred to the police department narcotics division in 2016. Somebody's ringing my phone. I don't know who that is, but let's just see. Let me just hang up. Nobody of importance on the phone. But here's the thing I'm going to read a little bit more. I think it was unfortunate that she got shot the way she did. I like I said, we weren't there. I'm going to read a little bit more, but it's just like, it just seems like more and more lives that look like us are getting shot up, left and right. And it's crazy that, we shouldn't even be killing each other as human beings anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like if there's any type of drug trafficking that they said was going on, you know, the bottom line is you arrest that person, man. Like, but I understand the boyfriend had a gun and he shot, you know what I mean? Like it said in here. Let's just, look up here again. It said, Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, fired a gun at the officers he believed to be intruders, who fired over 20 shots in turn. Says Taylor was shot 5 times, according to a death certificate, and Madley was injured by gunfire. So, my question is, I understand the boyfriend thought there was intruders, but man, I'm just sometimes, it seems like we're caught in a rock and a hard place sometimes. With the decisions, because sometimes decisions we make can kill us, and sometimes you gotta understand, and people gotta understand, the police, they're scared of us. Okay, they're scared of black people. A lot of white people in general are scared of us. I don't know why. They shouldn't be. We shouldn't be scared of anybody. Nobody should be scared of nobody. But unfortunately, we're in some trying times right now, and it's like nobody needs to be scared of each other, but we are. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole situation. Like every single time we keep hearing about these videos of people getting shot, and it's like this, not justice. But here's what I'm saying. Here's what I've said in many of my videos. I understand we're trying to march and we're trying to get justice out there, but what have I said in many of my videos, everybody? You got to get your money together. We have to be organized. That's the bottom line. Organization and people being on the same page and trying to get your money together so we can organize or do not go to work anymore for these white corporations. Okay? That's what they want. Then, okay, that's what we should be doing. Okay? Because we keep thinking, all of us include even myself working for a gas station, that we have to kiss these people's asses. And we do every day because we know we have no legs to stand on. We got no legs. No matter what type of money you have in your bank, your 401k, it still ain't the same type of money that they have compared to the company that you have compared to the company. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, my thing is, again, people aren't going to always agree with my mindset, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, in general, yeah, we shouldn't be. Everybody's back and forth, scared. I'm scared of him. We're scared of cops. We're scared of. Come on, man. Like I get it. Listen to me. I'm not going to sit back and say I like all cops because I don't. Okay, I'm not going to sit back and say, yeah, they're my friends. I want to, you know what I'm saying, hang out with them. No, bro, I'm not going to say that. But it's like it's a slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? And my brother over here saying we need our own business. And I've said this in many of my videos, that black people need to be organized, stop being emotional. Get your money up, $20. I can't stand when black people can't help each other. That just upsets me. It's sad that white people help us more than blacks. If I ask a brother, hey man, you want to, get a business together, you want to try to come up with ideas and concepts, let's talk to the town halls to find out what we could do. Come on, man. I'm going to read a little bit more. This is the shootings. Shortly after the midnight on March 13th, 2020, Louisville police entered the apartment of Breonna Taylor and Kenneth Walker using a battery ram to force the door open. Since the police were investigating 2 men they believed were selling drugs. The Taylor Walker home was included in a no-knock search warrant signed by Jefferson County Circuit Judge Mary M. Shaw, reportedly based on representations by police that one of the men used the apartment to receive packages. This is the New York Times later report that before the raid, the order had been changed to knock and announce, meaning that the police were required to identify themselves. Since the primary target of the LMPD investigations were Jamarcus Glover and Adrian Walker, who were suspected of selling a controlled substance from the drug house more than 10 miles away. According to Taylor's family attorney, Glover had dated Taylor 2 years before and continued to have a passive friendship. The search warrant included Taylor's residence because it was suspected that Glover received packages containing drugs at Taylor's apartment, and because a car registered to Taylor had been seen parked on Taylor's residence because it was suspected parked on several occasions in front of Glover's house. Specifically, the warrant alleges that in January 2020, Glover left Taylor's apartment with the unknown package, presumed to be drugs, and subsequently went to known drug apartment with package soon after. See, the warrant states that this event was verified through the U.S. Postal Inspector in May 2020. The U.S. Postal Inspector in Louisville publicly announced that the collaboration with law enforcement has never actually occurred, since the post office stated that they were asked to monitor packages going to Taylor's apartment from different agencies, but after doing so, they concluded there's no package of interest going there. The public revelation put the investigation, especially the warrant, into question and resulted in an internal investigation. No drugs were found in Taylor's apartment after the warrant was executed. My thing is, again, if this person, Jamarcus Glover, Adrian Walker, says they were saying they were suspects of selling controlled substance of drugs, if they were, why was you doing it if you was doing that? You know, today, it ain't like, to me, I get it. We're in tough times. But still, I don't make any excuses for people selling drugs if they were, and using that house as as an scapegoat or whatever the case was, a hideout, if that's the case. Because again, there's too many cameras out here in the world, man, for people to be selling drugs. Too many snitches today. Everybody's a snitch today. 95% of people are snitches. They'll snitch on you in 5 seconds, your mother, your father, just so they don't go to prison. So, that's just me. There's a lot of snitches in the world, a lot of bitches in the world, and they don't care. So for me, I don't like it. I don't like this whole situation. But my thing is this again: marching, okay, I get it. But my question is, what happens after the march? Do you go home? Who do you talk to? Okay, you talk to police, you talk to this lawyers. Okay, now what happens? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Breonna Taylor's dead. And if this is true that the city paid off $12 million to the family, okay, that's great. But you know what I'm saying? Still, her life is not. She's no longer here on this planet. She's dead. So it's like, yeah, okay, you might say, you know what I'm saying, if the drugs, the money's great, okay, we got to come up, okay, the state of city paid us $12 million, that's great, okay, but what, you know what I'm saying, but your daughter's dead, this woman's dead, and I don't know if she was hiding stuff, who knows, you know what I'm saying, the boyfriend, was living there with her, and if it's like, again, if he was doing stuff, you're not just putting yourself in jeopardy, you was putting her in jeopardy. And if that's the case, you know what I'm saying? That's both of you guys' fault. See, it's all based on decisions. And people could say, oh, I had to do what I had to do and take it. Listen, man, again, I've been arrested for doing stupid shit in my life. I made stupid decisions. And I should be in prison right now. Okay? But again, I made wrong decisions. Now I'm making better decisions. Why? Because I realize it's based off my decisions and my behavior. I, again, we all have to take the time to do right. Because again, God is watching all of us, whether you believe in a God or you don't. Because again, life is just the beginning. When you die, that's the beginning. Remember this. This ain't the beginning. When you live in me talking, this ain't the beginning. This is not the beginning. When you die, that's the beginning. And you're going to see what God's going to say to us on Judgment Day. When we look at our lives and him and the angels or whatever flashing back our lives and the decisions we made, the excuses we made for ourselves and others. You can't give excuses to God. Oh God, I wanted to do this because God, I want. You think God wants to hear excuses? But we make plenty of them in this country, in this world, for our behaviors. I know damn well I have, and I've been wrong millions of times for my bad behavior and decisions of how I've treated people. And I understand this. Um, my brother who's chiming in. This is thinking about what you said. They found no trace of drugs in the house. Yeah, you're right. But again, we don't know what the whole scenario is because I wasn't there. You wasn't there. We don't know the whole scenario. And that's the thing. I wasn't there. You wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Who knows if they hid it somewhere in the backyard? Who knows? I don't know. But at the end of the day, excuse me, it's all about based on decisions. Okay, let's read a little bit more. Kenneth Walker, who was licensed to carry a firearm, which is good, and under the assumption someone was breaking into his apartment, I get it, fired a single shot first, striking an officer, whereupon police returned fire into the apartment with more than 20 rounds. A wrongful death lawsuit filed against the police by Taylor's family attorney alleges that the officers who entered Taylor's home without knocking, without announcing themselves as police officers, opened fire with total disregard for the value of human life. But police account claims the officers did not knock, did knock and announce themselves before forcing entry. Of course, he said versus she said. You know what I'm saying? One word versus another, like always. You know what I'm saying? There's your side, there's their side, and there's the truth, which is God, which knows. This is a New York Times investigation concluded that a neighbor who was on the staircase immediately above Taylor's apartment heard the officers shout police once, contrary to what law enforcement told investigation, knocked 3 times while approximately 11 other neighbors heard no announcement. According to the investigation, every single neighbor accounts conflict with law enforcement. Since Taylor's family stated there was no announcement and that Walker and Taylor believed someone was breaking in because Walker to act in self-defense. Walker said in his police interrogation that Taylor yelled multiple times, "Who is this?" after hearing a loud bang at the door but received no answer, and then that he then armed himself. Walker shot first, striking a police officer in the leg. In response, the officer reopened fire with 20 rounds, hitting objects in the living room, dining room, kitchen, hallway, bathroom, and both bedrooms. Taylor was struck by 5 bullets and pronounced dead at the scene. No drugs were found in the apartment. No drugs were found in the apartment. This is according to an anonymous source who spoke to Wave 3 News, one of the three officers allegedly fired blindly from the exterior of the residence through a window with closed blinds and curtains. The sources said they do not believe Taylor was struck by any of the bullets fired by officers who was outside. And I agree with my brother. They should, you know what I mean? They should have announced themselves, meaning the officers, if you're knocking on the door. Because again, like I say, it just seems like it's keep getting worse and worse with this whole situation with these police and us. But again, what I'm saying, marching, okay, great, but tell me, what has it done? What laws has it changed? And you know what? And even if Trump loses Biden, he's gonna say before, just like with all the riots, all these thugs and all these people are this and that and that. He don't care about you neither. None of these people in politics care about you. We have to look up these people's records to find out what Biden has done for black people, what Trump has done for black people, what any of these people, you know what I'm saying? We have to look up their records. And if their records are no good, we shouldn't be voting for anybody personally. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. I'm not even sure if I registered to vote, this year, but I'm an independent and I don't even know who I want to decide because both of them to me are pieces of shit and they don't care. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, again, I don't get it. All these cops, all this shit, and then then you're gonna have the nerve, Donald Trump, to call these people thugs, and it's like, again, like I say, what has people like Biden and Kamala Harris done for black people? You know what I'm saying? Other than you, Kamala Harris, locking up a lot of black people in California for drug charges and all this other stuff. But again, I get very annoyed with this whole situation. It says Taylor's death certificate notes that in an autopsy was performed and manner of death was determined to list her manner of death as homicide. The death certificate also notes that she received 5 gun wounds by gunshot wounds to the body. The coroner denied the Courier Journal's request for a copy of autopsy. The news was appealing to the Attorney General's office as of July 17, 2020. Says a gunshot wound is a physical trauma caused by a bullet from the firearm. Damage may include bleeding, broken bones, organ damages, infection of the wound, or loss of the ability to move part of the body. Damage depends on part of the body it hits, the path the bullet follows through the body. Let's see what else. Since the police filed an incident report that claimed that Taylor had no injuries and that no forced entry occurred. Of course they did. Cover their ass. The police department said that the technical errors led to nearly entirely blank malformed report. Since all 3 officers involved in the shooting were placed on administrative reassignment pending the outcome of the investigation. Of course they were. Don't they always do that? Administrating leave, administrating reassignments. Isn't it funny how whenever a police officer shoots somebody in the wrong death, they always get a reassignment, administrative reassignment leave or whatever, until they quote unquote investigate the case? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that funny? Okay. This is by the Police Department Internal Professional Integrity Unit. It says on May 20th, 2020, investigation findings were given to Daniel Cameron, Attorney General of Kentucky, who determined whether any officer should be criminally charged. Hmm. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher also asked the FBI and U.S. Attorney Office to review the findings. The FBI also conducted its own independent investigation. I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did their quote unquote, you know what I'm saying, in their investigation. I'm sure they did. You know, that's the FBI, right? Hmm. The FBI also conducted its own independent investigation, like I said, announced by the Bureau's Louisville field office on May 21st of this year. It says early June, Fisher called the office's Hankerson to be removed from the Louisville Police Merit Board, which reviews appeals from police officers and departmental disciplinary matters. Hankerson was one of the 5 members of the board, which consists of 3 civilians and 2 police officers selected by the River City Fraternal Order of Police. This is on June 19th, three months after Taylor's killing. Louisville Metro Police interim chief Robert Schroeder sent Hankerson a letter notifying that Schroeder had begun termination procedures against him. The letter accused Hankerson of violating department policies on the use of the deadly force by wantonly and blindly firing into Taylor's apartment without determining whether any person presented an immediate threat or whether there were any innocent person present. Says the letter also cited past disciplinary actions taken against Hankerson. Good. By the department, including reckless conduct. Good. Hankerson was formally fired 4 days later, June 23rd, and he had 10 days until July 3rd to appeal his termination to the Louisville Police Merit Board. The appeal was delayed until the criminal investigation is finished. It says on September 23rd, 2020, state grand jury indicted Hankerson on 3 counts of wanton endangerment. Let's see what wanton endangerment means. It says endangerment is a type of crime involving conduct that is wrong and reckless and wanton and likely to produce death or grievous bodily harm to another person. There are several kinds of endangerment, each of which is a criminal act that can be prosecuted in the court. So it says on September 23rd, 2020, state grand jury indicted Hankerson on 3 counts of wanton endangerment for endangering a neighboring family of 3 when shots he fired penetrated the walls and into the apartment. Neither Hankerson nor the 2 officers involved in the raid were indicted for Taylor's death. Neighbor's lawsuit. It says a neighbor filed a lawsuit against the officer involved in that raid. The lawsuit claims, among the other things, that a man was nearly shot and the law enforcement spread gunfire into Chelsea Napper's apartment with a total disregard for the value of human life. Of course, a bullet that was shot from the defendant police officer gun flew inches past person Cody Etherington head while he was in the hallway of Chelsea Napper's apartment. The man is unidentified. Napper is understood to be a pregnant woman, and Etherington is understood to be a child. So Kenneth Walker. Walker initially faced criminal charges on the first-degree assault, an attempt, the murder of a police officer. The LMBD officer said they announced themselves before entering the home and were immediately met with gunfire from Walker. This is according to their statement. Walker discharged his firearm first and injuring an officer. Walker's lawyer said that Walker thought that someone was entering the residency illegally and that Walker acted only in self-defense. A 911 call later released to the public provided a recording of Walker telling 911 operators someone kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend. Walker was later released from jail due to the coronavirus concerns, which drew criticism from Louisville Metro Police Department Chief Steve Conrad. Judge Olo Stevens released Walker from home incarceration on May 22nd, Commonwealth's Attorney Tom Wine moved to dismiss all charges against Walker in late May. The case could be presented to a grand jury again after reviewing the results of the FBI and Kentucky's Attorney General Office investigation. Wine dropped the charges because the officers never mentioned Taylor by name to the grand jury, or they shot her. Walker's close friend said the job was to protect Taylor at any cost. Rob Eggert, an attorney represented Walker, released a statement saying he just wanted to resume his life. At the same time, his attorney said he could be charged again later as more facts come out again of the shooting. This is on June 16th. Eggert filed a motion to permanently dismiss the indictment charging Walker with attempted murder and assault. Says the motion asked Stevens to grant Walker immunity because he was within the rights to defend himself, and Taylor under Kentucky's stand your ground law. Stand your ground law provides people may be deadly force when they reasonably believe it is necessary to defend against a threat or death, seriously bodily harm, kidnapping, rape, or robbery, and someone other serious charges. Under such a law, people have no jury to retreat. So that's what it is. So, let's see. And what happened over here? It says on May 15th, Taylor's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit. It states that Taylor and Walker were sleeping in their bedroom before the incident happened, and the police officers were in unmarked vehicles. The lawsuit states that Taylor and Walker thought their home had been broken into by criminals and that they were significant immense danger. The lawsuit alleges that the officers then entered Breonna's home without knocking, without announcing themselves as police officers. The defendant then proceeded to spray gunfire into the residence with total disregard for the value of human life. The lawsuit resolved in mid-September 2020 with the city of Louisville agreeing to pay Taylor's mother $12 million. And the institution policing changes required more oversight by top commanders and making mandatory safeguards that were only common practice up to the time of raid. Photography and video evidence. This is on May 14th. Photos released to the public. The Courier Journal by Sam Agar, an attorney representing Taylor's family. The photos show bullet damages in their apartment and the apartment next door. Says Louisville police claimed that none of the officers were wearing body cams. All three were plainclothes narcotic officers. On September 4th, several news sources, included the Courier Journal, reported that the photographs of the police officer taken later that day showed that at least one wore a body cam. In a later photograph, one of the officers who fired his weapon, Miles Cosgrove, was wearing a mount for body cameras. Another detective who presents wore a body camera, though it was not unknown whether it was active. So again, I'm just saying, this is crazy. Whole situation's fucked up. Again, she's died. She's dead. She's been dead for quite some time now. The whole situation's a mess. Nobody likes it. Yes, the mother got some money from the city. Okay. But again, like I've said in many videos, marching, tell me what it's done. People want results. And you can't go to your oppressor that don't like us. And am I going to say all white people don't like us? No, I'm not going to say that, because that's, even though I've made a lot of videos about white people and how I feel and my opinion about them, they can hate me, call me, racist or whatever, or bigot or whatever, prejudice. I'm prejudiced. I'm not hatred. But you got to understand why black people are the way that we are. We're the way we are because the fact is we're tired. We're tired of shit like this. Even we're tired when we hurt our own. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, black people need to cherish your life. Okay? People need to cherish life in general because, again, God is watching. So you can say whatever you want about how I feel about certain things. You could say whoever you want to feel about other black people, how they feel. Black people need to protect our own. Again, I like white people. Okay. I've dated white girls. I've done, you know what I'm saying? Been friends with them. I don't hate white people. Here's my thing is, it's a cultural disconnect between black and white people. That's the problem. And I feel like a lot of white people don't understand what we go through because how can you? You're not going to. You're not going to feel the same pain we feel. And that's the bottom line. You're not going to feel the same pain because you can walk into your own neighborhoods and feel how you feel. And it's like, okay, that's your business. You're going to feel how you're going to feel. But this is how it is, man. So it's not about, it's just like, but we're just tired of this. But I'm tired of people just marching. Okay, I'm tired of people just marching. I want us to put our money where our mouth is. Okay, if we could talk the shit, including myself, even me, I need to be out there, figure out a way how to help. You know what I'm saying? Myself, help out my son that I have a black child. Help out others. You know what I'm saying? And that's the hard part, trying to get people on the same page. Trying to find people that you don't know that look like you that would be willing to help you. Because nobody's willing to help today. And everybody's on some selfish shit. But again, like I said, shit's going to keep happening if we don't take the time to help ourselves. And again, we're not hating. But again, if we want justice, we don't work for these white corporations. We build our own. Okay? We help our own people. We stop disrespecting our people. Okay? Including myself. Hello? Anybody. Any black man and black woman. We can be ignorant. Stop that. Stop hating the next black man or woman. Yes, some of us have attitudes as human beings. Yes, some of us act like fools. Some of us out in the street. Some of us have gangbang. Listen, man, we need to stop all that bullshit. Because again, there's a God that's watching. And all that doesn't mean nothing if you burn in hell. Okay? If you burn in hell because the fact is you're not doing right by God. Because we're treating our people wrong. So you could take this video as you want to take it. I don't care. I don't like what happened. And I'm sure Breonna's mother and her family hate what happened, even though they got money for it. And it's like, again, money doesn't mean justice. Maybe for some, they might think that, but money does not mean justice. The young lady got killed regardless of whatever happened. Whatever transpired, if there was drugs being sold to the house or not, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't there. You wasn't there. God only knows the truth and those people that were there. But I'm going to say this and get off. I pray for that family. I pray for any black person that gets shot or killed unjustly. I pray that we need to come together a little bit more. And I want us to understand that this system has always been corrupt since way beginning of time, way before we were even thought of. Once these motherfuckers knew they was able to get their hands on power, meaning some of these presidents back in the day, George Washington and all these other people that knew that was able to get the power. Black people have came a long way, but we're still not there. Okay? That's something that we need to do better. Protect our own. And my brother over here, DC, that's my brother. I don't care. We can disagree. We can, even my own biological brother, love him. We disagree all the time when I speak to him on the phone. Talked to him the other day, actually. And we disagree on a lot of things. But that doesn't, I always tell him, I love you. You're my brother. And if you need me, I'm there. Period. Because we have to protect our own. And we're not doing that. So again, like I say to people, for the march and get your money together, $20 times everybody that's black, 30,000 black people, 40,000 black, whatever. Get your money. If you did, imagine it, all those marchers. Imagine you guys that marched, all the people that marched. It took $20 out of their bank account and said, you know what? I don't need this. I want to invest this for the future. $20, guys. You can buy a little food. You can buy your cigarettes. You can buy alcohol. Put gas in your car. You know what I'm saying? Buy little knickknacks for the house for $20, and we can't even do that. You know, but we're going to be looking to other people to try to help us that don't like you and I. We're going to try to look to our oppressor. That's the thing. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? Like $20. I could pull $20 out of my bank account. I could pull $40 or $60 out of my bank account. It's not going to kill me. And I wouldn't mind. I would say, here, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, sister. Take it. Because I'm not one of these greedy motherfuckers. I don't care because I work. I've blown a lot more money than that. I've lost a lot more money than that in my life, okay? Trust me, $60 it ain't nothing compared to what I've lost in my life. Okay? $20, $40, I've lost that. That's nothing to me. I could get that. It's going to work. It'll be in the paycheck. As long as you go to work, that $40, $60 will be in that paycheck. All right? But I'm going to say, I want to thank my brother DC for chiming in, making comments. I think there was somebody else that was on here too, and I want to thank them. If they left, that's fine. But thank you for viewing, my video today. But I'm just gonna say this. I just pray for everybody out there. I pray that we have peace. I pray for Black people. I want us to do better. Like I've said, Black excellence. We have to do better. We have to take the time to love ourselves, no matter how hard it is, and how ignorant we can be at times. We still have to love. Love is the closest thing to God. You know what I'm saying? When you have love, you have God in your heart. But feel free to check out my YouTube channel. You would have to type in my name if you're even interested in looking me up. It's Russell Mills, RUSSELLMILLS, May 22nd, 2017. Let me repeat it. Russell Mills, May 22nd, 2017. Look me up on YouTube. I got a whole bunch of videos where I talk to shit. You may not agree with my words, and that's cool. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just putting my perspective on my opinion. I have a right to say this because, you know what I'm saying? But everybody, take care. Peace. Be safe out there, even with this virus going on, and make sure that your family's protected. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, take care. Peace.